115 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey originally as I transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business, brick and mortar being physical, real world businesses, not internet or online businesses. And I spent over almost 50 years this year in different businesses. Started when I was 13, so now you know how old I am. And I simultaneously worked over a quarter century of that in corporate America in various management, leadership, engineering aspects, mostly management and upper management in different organizations, privately held, publicly held, big companies, not little companies like some of the ones I started and ran myself in the early days. And now I help people to supersize and grow their business, whatever that means to them. Supersize might mean you make a ton of money. Supersize might mean you serve a lot of people. It's up to you to decide and define that for yourself. Just like it's up to you to decide and define that everything for yourself. So today, our idiom and supersize your business. I create a couple pieces of content each day. One is a challenge. I do an annual challenge every year. I think I've been doing it for decades. I didn't start doing it online until 2018, but from 2018 on, I've done an annual challenge. Now, the vast majority of people will never do an annual challenge. Why? The vast majority of people can't do something for a week, much less a year. But what's cool about the annual challenge is we do one little thing every day, and cumulatively that makes us 365 times better in different areas and aspects of our life, which automatically means we're continually improving and growing and becoming a better version of ourselves. And that is my purpose, is to always be continually improving, to create and be the best possible person I can be. Do I succeed every day? No, of course not. None of us do. But I learn from those mistakes or those misfortunate behaviors on my part, and I make sure I don't make that same mistake again. There's infinite possibilities in the mistakes and the way we can screw up in the world, so I don't think I'll ever run out of them. Just like there's infinite opportunities and possibilities for us to show up in the world the way we want to show up, and hopefully we're all doing more of that than less of that. Although I've had reminders, not in my personal life, but in lives of those I love and care about lately, that there's some craziness going on in the world around us. So today we talked about leading by example, and I shared different ways that we can lead by example. And I asked the question, do you lead by example as you're building and growing and supersizing your business? And the truth is, whether we know it or not, we're being an example. It might not be a good example. We might be more of a warning than an example, but we are automatically doing that with our families, with our friends, with anybody we interact with or see on social media, with our businesses. People do what we do, not what we say to do. I don't know how many times we're going to tell and remind ourselves of that, but it's absolutely true. If you don't take care of yourself, the people that work for you, the people that are around you, the people you love and care about, aren't going to take care of themselves because they look up to you to set an example and they model your behavior. I see this so clearly in my grandchildren. If you say things or behave in ways you don't want your children to behave in, guess what? They're going to do it. They're going to model you no matter what. So make sure that what you're exposing them to and what you're sharing with them and showing them is what you want as they grow up and become and develop great little human beings. Now, I have two awesome children, so I don't know that I did, we do what we can with what we've got right now. It definitely failed in some areas and aspects of being a great mom or a good mom, but I also think I succeeded in enough and was a good enough role model and example to create two amazing human beings. And my granddaughters are on the same track. They are absolutely phenomenal, incredible little humans. So lead by example. I'd love to know your take on that. Do you believe that that's true? I think in a country right now, in a world right now that is lacking true, authentic, honest, for the people leadership, I think that it's more important than ever that as individuals and as business owners, we create what we want to see in the world, because our leaders are not creating it for us. And so it's up to us to do that. It's up to small business owners and entrepreneurs to create the businesses and the cultures that we want to see in the world, not the craziness that's going on around us, or that the media is building up as huge things that really aren't true and don't exist, because there's so much of that going on. It's mind-boggling. And I don't even watch the media, right? I turned the media off in the 80s, thank goodness, because it's allowed me to think for myself, and I think that that's important too. As long as we are touching base with ourselves and asking ourselves, is something that we're hearing or seeing or experiencing upsetting us? If it's upsetting us, it's not right, it's not true for us, it's not good for us. So eliminate exposure to it. That is, I learned that in a leadership development training in the 1980s, mid-1980s, and we were challenged for the week of this training. It was a week-long training called Louis Tice training, which I don't think even exists anymore, but it's a version of, a leadership, corporate leadership thinking. It got me actually on my real road to personal development. I learned and got my love of personal development. I guess I would have to credit it with my time and my experience at Procter & Gamble, because they had such a great management development and different type of trainings, and I was exposed to a lot of different ideas and trainings that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise. Between that and my dad and his corporate career at 3M, one thing about corporate America, you have access to resources that on your own it's hard to get access to. That's one of the biggest things I missed when I left corporate America, was I didn't have my automatic built-in experts and teams. I had to go out and create that on my own, which is super powerful too, because then you make sure you're aligning with the right people when you learn how to pick the right people, because that's a lesson to be learned as well. So talked about that today, and for the next 8 days after today, so for a total of 9 days, we are reviewing in the annual challenge how far we've come. We're taking each of the 9 life framework areas and we're talking about them. We're doing a summary and we're checking in with, we only have a little over a month and a half of the year left, where are we at with respect to the goal that we set for ourselves. We set one big goal during the challenge for each of these areas and aspects of our life. Mine, for example, we talked about confidence today, and I summarized what we talked about for confidence, and then I have a write-up in Guide 17 of the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group, and I cover in detail, 7-step process that we identified in January by looking at a bunch of different frameworks. We came up with our own. This is the process we're going to use each and every month, and we're going to test it and tweak it and make it our own. So where are we at with that? Where are we with our confidence goal? My confidence goal was, I already forgot it, physical something. I'm going to have to look. Body positivity. That's a good one. But because I will admit, I don't always have good things to say about my appearance and my body. Maybe it's the crazy hair. Maybe it's the nose. Maybe it's the eyebrows. I don't know. Maybe it's the lack of vision, literal physical vision. So we're looking at that today, and we're going to check back in. Where are we at with respect to the goal we set for ourselves? So I have to check back in and see, am I doing the things that I added? Am I doing what I need to do to achieve that improved goal by the end of the year? All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. Saturday here, lots going on. Always lots going on weekends. Get to see my amazing granddaughters, so I'm excited about that. If I can help you in any way, please ask, because if you have a question or a thought, chances are someone else does too, or there's somebody that needs to hear your thought. Guess what? Participating, commenting, asking questions, sharing your experience. It's all part of leading by example and making the world a better place. And we all need to do that. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.